Good morning, interweb. This is the second annual Artifexian State of Union where I essentially plug my Patreon, tell you what changes are happening with Patreon, and tell you what's going to happen with Artifexian in general over the next year. This video is entirely skippable, but if you really care about Artifexian, I'd encourage you to hang around for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Oh, and we're going to be talking finances, so let me get into something more appropriate. First up, a massive thanks to all the people who supported me over the past year on Patreon. It's been amazing. Your kindness has been overwhelming. Like, prior to releasing the Patreon, I had a sort of rough estimation as to how I might do on the platform. And within 24 hours, you guys blew that estimation out of the water. Yeah, your kindness and your generosity have just been astounding, and you have kept Artifexian going. So with that in mind, I'd like to make some changes to Patreon in 2019. Two things broadly. I'd like to switch from a per video billing system to a monthly billing system. And I'd like to increase the goal, or add a new stretch goal, if you will, to the Patreon. The monthly thing is largely inspired by messages that I got from patrons who were like, hey, it's really hard to budget and plan when the billing varies per month. Have you considered switching to a monthly thing? And I was feeling this too. Like, when your income fluctuates month on month, it can be really hard to plan for the future. So given that I'm already producing on average 1 video per month, it makes sense to switch to a monthly thing as a sort of extra means of stability. So like, if a video is delayed by a day or two, it won't impact you or me. And that's the plan, hopefully. And look, if I ever abuse this system by just not releasing content for months on end, feel free to stop patronizing me. At that point, I am taking advantage of your generosity, and yeah, you should have nothing to do with me at that stage. With regards to the stretch goal, I'd like to move from minimum wage to living wage. Again, it's about stability for me again. I need to start thinking a bit more long term. In terms of like job security and yeah, stability. And also, I really want to get an animator on board. I tried to do that last year, and with the money I was making on Patreon, it just wasn't working. So that's another reason for the increase in stretch goal. Now, most people don't talk exact figures when it comes to their Patreon, but for the sake of transparency, I'd like to do this here, so just bear with me while I maths here for a second. So the average living wage in Ireland is about €11.90 per hour, which is about $13.50 per hour. So if we multiply that by 8 working hours in the day, multiply that by 5 working days in the week, multiply that by 49 working weeks in the year, we get about $26,000. Divide that by 12 and round to the nearest 100, and we get a monthly figure of $2,200, which is a lot, but that's the ultimate dream at this stage. I'm a firm believer if you ask for a lot, you have to give a lot back. So here's what I'd like to do for you in return. Obviously, the animator will increase the quality of the content and hopefully increase the frequency, which makes that monthly billing thing an even better idea. In addition to the perks that are already on Patreon, I want to add a monthly patron-only live stream. No matter how big or small your pledge is to support Artifexian, you'll get access to that live stream, and once a month we'll hang out and we'll talk nerd stuff for an hour or two or something like that. It might be a cool idea. And the ultimate thing I think I can do with that extra money to make Artifexian a better viewing experience for all is to just get rid of YouTube's ads, because they're really annoying and in your face and disturbing, and they snap you out of the video, and they're just gross, and I'd really like to get rid of them. So yeah, those are some of the things I'd like to do. If that all sounds like a good deal and you care about Artifexian and you've enjoyed watching Artifexian over the past year and you have the means to do so, please consider going over to Patreon and pledging to support the channel. Your support means that Artifexian can continue to exist, and that means the world to me. I would be eternally grateful to you if you could help me along this road. And if you don't have the means to support, just like last year, totally don't. Just keep watching the videos. Always take care of yourself before you take care of me. It's really important. Oh, and one last thing about what's happening in 2019. I'm going to try and do way more collabs than I've done before. I've already reached out to a couple of creators and we're working on things. So that might be a cool extra little thing for you guys as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed Artifexian. I hope you can support Artifexian. You guys are all amazing, and I'll see you very soon for a Q&A, a special roast video, and then a world building video. Until next time, Edgar out.